Hello, I hope you're doing well. Today's video is not slime. Wow. Today's video is going to be going through all of the books that I have read since the books that I own that I've read since the last time I talked to you. So it's not counting library books, books that I got rid of, unhauled, or any of the digital books that I've read. I don't think I've listened to any audiobooks. I haven't been on an audiobook phase, but we've got 14 books, I think, to talk to you about, and some of these I read back in, the end of August, early September, up until now, so I don't remember all of them super well, but I'm gonna do my best to tell you about them, and what I thought about them, and I know that's not everyone's cup of tea, but if you like listening to me chat, stick around. I'm gonna try and do, this soft-spoken thing for as long as I can. My voice has gotten a little strict gradually, though, so I might have to move to whispering, but let's go. So, also I just showered, so my hair is wet. The first book, and I'm doing this from I read this at the end of August, and then I'm working my way up to now, if that makes sense. So this is the Jasmine Throne. I actually read this for the book club I was hosting, so I have a few notes in it. There's nothing random on them, though. They were just points to remember for myself. This is by Tasha Suri. This is a epic fantasy inspired by, I believe, Indian mythology and culture and things like that. And it is very good. I do have plans to read the sequel. I just haven't yet, but you're gonna find that for a lot of these books. I have been starting so many series this year that I'm oh, I need to read this eventually, but I just haven't gotten the chance to get there yet. Hold on. My neighbor started being loud and I started recording. Yay. Okay, so I will read you the synopsis of this. It says, trapped by her despotic brother within the crumbling walls of an ancient temple, Princess Melanie dreams of vengeance, I don't know where must came from, forced to disavow her birthright and her power because of her past. Maidservant Priya dreams of freedom in a world beset by wild magic and turbulent uprising. Their destinies will become irrevocably entangled, and together they will set an empire ablaze. So I don't know if I mentioned, but it is sapphic. I won't stick this song on so many books. I was just reading the back to see if there was any other information about it, but I couldn't find any. But yeah, I did really enjoy this. I don't think it's a 5-star read, but it's definitely in between 4 stars and 5 stars, and I do plan on reading the sequel. Next, I'm trying to, sorry about that, figure out how to set these books. The lighting gets so dim. These lights when I first turn them on are super bright, and then they just lower them. The next book is This Vicious Grace by Thiede. I do have, I think it's the Fairy Loop version. I didn't buy it though. Yeah, it is the Fairy Loop version. Let's cover up the back. I didn't buy it. I bought it used, but it has painted edges. It does have a floral design, although you can't really see. And then the hardcover has a gorgeous portrait, and then it has art of the 2 main characters inside. So there's the front, and then in the back we have the other main character. It's very dark right now. So this is a duology, the first book in a duology. I don't remember exactly what I rated this, and I don't think I plan on reading the sequel. I might eventually though, but it's not high priority. It says, Alyssa's gift from the gods is supposed to magnify a partner's magic, not kill every suitor she touches. Now, with only weeks left until a swarm of demons devours everything on her island home, Alyssa is running out of time to find a partner and stop the invasion. When a powerful priest convinces the faithful that killing Alyssa is the island's only hope, even her own soldiers try to assassinate her. Desperate to survive, Alyssa hires Dante, a cynical outcast marked as a killer, to become her personal bodyguard. But as rebellion explodes outside the gates, Dante's dark secrets may be the biggest betrayal. Dante holds the key to Alyssa's survival and her heart. Is he the one person who can help her master her gift, or will he destroy her once and for all? And I was remembering as I read that, why I don't feel the need to read the sequel. I haven't looked up reviews about it yet, and I did actually really like this book. It does play really hard on tropes though. It didn't feel like anything new, but it was still enjoyable to read. But it's also a fantasy, completely new universe, and what the first book did felt like pretty much all I needed to do. Like, I don't really know where the sequel would go, and it just didn't like feel like it set up the sequel super well, so I just like don't have the biggest urge to read it, but I still enjoyed the first book. 2 yellow books in a row too. Next, I have All Out, edited by Sandra Mitchell. This is an anthology of the no longer secret stories of queer teens throughout the ages. So it has a bunch of short stories in it. I also bought this used. I'm trying to figure out how many stories it has. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. It's got 17 stories in it, all queer, all different representations. Anthologies are always very hit or miss because of course you're reading a bunch of different authors. My lighting is getting so dark. Hold on. Okay, I fixed it. As I was saying, anthologies are always hit or miss because it's a bunch of different authors, and so you're always gonna have different opinions on the different stories. I would say I really enjoyed like more than 50% of this, which is a win for me when it comes to anthologies. It feels like the moon is a sticker. It's really fun. Okay, next I read Reggie and Delilah's Year of Falling. There's so many stickers on this, by Elise Bryant. This is a YA romance, and I did really enjoy this. I think it was a 5-star read. I had an Elise Bryant book way back when I just got back into reading. I think like her first, it's like a teal greenish cover, I think. I bought it thinking it was adult romance, and then when I realized it wasn't, I don't know why, because I was reading YA romance at the first moment, but it's the thing when you like buy a book and you think it's gonna want to be one thing and then it ends up being another, and you're like, I have to be in the right mindset to read this book. So I never ended up reading this book, so this was my first Elise Bryant book, but I really liked it, and I really want to read her other books. I don't know, oh, it's like a band thing, that's right, I'm remembering. It says Delilah always keeps her messy, gooey insides hidden behind a wall of shrugs and yeah, whatevers. She goes with the flow, which is how she ends up singing in her friend's punk band as a favor, even though she'd prefer to hide at the merch table. Reggie is a D&D dungeon master and self-declared blurred. Oh, yes, okay, black nerd. He spends his free time leading quests and writing essays critiquing the game under a pseudonym, keeping it all under wraps from his disappearing family. Sorry, when I read that, I was thinking it was supposed to be like a D&D thing, and I was like, oh, I've never heard of that, and then my brain connected. These two, who have practically nothing in common, meet for the first time on New Year's Eve, and then again on Valentine's and on St. Patrick's Day, almost like the universe is pushing them together for a reason. Delilah wishes she was more like Reggie, open about what she likes and who she is, even if it's not cool, except it's all up front. Reggie is just role-playing someone confident, the kind of guy who could be like with a girl like Delilah. As their holiday meetings continue, the two begin to fall for each other, but what happens once they realize they've fallen for a version of the other that doesn't really exist? This also has disability rep. Delilah has chronic migraines. I don't remember if there's disability rep in Reggie. Don't remember, but I do remember that, yes. Highly recommend, 5 stars, it was really good. Next, we have another 5-star read. I've had a really good reads recently, and I got rid of the ones that weren't good reads. So, The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. I am planning on reading this entire series. I really enjoyed this book. It's a 5-star rating. The other books don't follow the same characters necessarily though, although they do make appearances, I believe. But one of the challenges I'm participating in is to read a 4+ book series, so this is going to be that. If you haven't heard of this, it's like a cozy sci-fi, although I use cozy very lightly. There's definitely some more like graphic scenes and like some violence, but it still has that feeling of like found family and just like really lovable characters, honestly. And this book I have a really funny story with, so I bought this used. I don't remember where now, but I bought it used, and when I took it home and I opened it up, there was a receipt in it that it was purchased many years ago. Like, I think this came out, not many years, that makes it sound really old. Let's see, when did this come out? It released in 2014. I think the receipt was for like 2017. In a Barnes & Noble from across the country. Like, it was a Barnes & Noble in California. I live in the Midwest, and so I thought that was really, really funny that it's like the long way. I don't know, I just thought it was really funny. Like, what a coincidence, right? That the receipt was still in it? I don't know. Alright, the next book is When You Trap a Tiger by Keller. This is set, oh, we have a synopsis on the back and the front. Okay, I'm gonna read the front one. So, it says, when Lily and her family moved in with their sick grandmother, a magical tiger straight out of her Halmani's Korean folk tales arrives, prompting Lily to unravel a secret family history. Long, long ago, Halmani stole something from the tigers, and now they want it back. And when one of the tigers approaches Lily with a deal, return what her grandmother stole in exchange for Halmani's health, Lily is tempted to agree. But deals with tigers are never what they seem. With the help of her sister and her new friend Ricky, Lily must find her voice and the courage to face a tiger. This is a middle grade book, based heavily in Korean folktales. It reads like magical realism. There is this tiger who can shapeshift and comes to Lily, and it very much reads in a way where, like, if I'm remembering correctly, there'll be like current day, and then it'll kind of go into like one of the stories that Halmani has told Lily, and I really liked that. I don't think it was a 5-star read, but it was still pretty well written. I read this in like a day. Like, granted, the text is very big, not very big, but it's big, but I went through that fast. I think I got this from Goodwill. Next, we have The Summer of Bitter and Sweet by Jen Ferguson. This is a YA contemporary with... It has romance in it, but it is not about romance at all. So this follows Lou. I'll read the back. Lou is dealing with enough complications under the roof of her family's ice cream shack this summer, but when she gets a letter from her white biological father, a man she hoped would stay behind bars for the rest of his life, Lou knows that he poses a danger to her and her family, unless she can face him down. In this complex and emotionally resonant novel about a Metis girl living on the Canadian prairies, debut author Jen Ferguson serves up a powerful story about rage, secrets, and all the spectrums that make up a person, and the sweetness that can live alongside the bitterest truth. Sorry, not bittersweet. This is an ARC, but I got it this year, so I just like got it at a bookstore. I had a lot of back and forth opinions about this book. I really liked what it was trying to do. I don't think I liked the way it did it for some reason. I think the writing style really took me a second to get into. I don't really remember how it starts. I think it's like very abrupt and then like kind of like going into a flashback without telling the reader that it's a flashback, and it's like just took a little bit to get into, but once I got into it I liked it more. It also has a sexual rep. I'm sorry, I keep burping. Our main character, Lou, is on the spectrum, and she's trying to figure that out. And I did really, really appreciate the rep. It was very nice to read as an ace person myself. Yeah, I would recommend it. There are some heavy content warnings in it, though. Oh, it's a longer thing to get to the content warnings. Hold on. Oh, is this not what the content warning is? Okay, it has discussion in reference to sexual assault, partner abuse, racism, physical assault towards Indigenous and Black teens, discussion of drug use, and underage alcohol use. Those are the content warnings, and they are very on page, so take those. Keep those in your mind, but I still would recommend if it sounds interesting to you. I'm not like, I definitely wasn't in the mood for it when I read it. I think I just needed something lighter at the time, but it was still good. Next we have Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. This is another book that, this is the first book in the trilogy, and I plan on reading the next two. Trilogy, right? Yes, trilogy. So, this is a... Sorry. This is inspired by pre-Columbian Americas, and it is a fantasy, so I'll read the back. It says, inspired by the civilizations of the pre-Columbian Americas, woven into a tale of celestial prophecies, forbidden magic, and crafted with unforgettable characters, Roanhorse has created an epic fantasy adventure in the most original series debut of the decade. In the holy city of Tova, 3 lives are converging during a solar eclipse prescribed by the sun priest as an unbalancing of the world. Meanwhile, a ship launches from a distant city bound for Tova and set to arrive on the solstice. The captain of the ship, Delilah, is a disgraced teak whose song can calm the waters around her as easily as it can wrap a man's mind. Basically a siren. Her ship carries 1 passenger, described as harmless. The passenger, Cerebio, is a young man, blind, scarred, and cloaked in destiny. As Ayala well knows, when a man is described as harmless, he usually ends up being a villain. So this is, I believe, like 3 or 4 different points of view that are all going on at the same time, in the same... There are a few flashbacks as well, but like it all converges, as the description says, and I really love books that do that. I did find pretty much all the characters in this that like we have the perspective of, like, very intriguing. I don't want to say, I mean, I did find them lovable, I think, but like very, very intriguing characters that you really care about. Not that they make the best choices. Hold on. Okay, sorry, we had a winter storm, so people driving by is really loud. But yeah, this was a really, really good book. 5 stars. Would recommend to everyone. I really liked it. I wanted to point out that like the teaks are like siren, mermaid kind of creatures, because there is like, I wasn't sure what to expect going into it, but it has that. It has like these religion kind of cult feeling like at times. It definitely describes like class differences too. Adventure, like it was just very, very, very good, and I'm very much looking forward to the sequel. We're halfway through. Next, we have How to Be Antiracist by Ibram X. Kendi. This is a non-fiction book. I've had it on my shelf for a while, and I'm really bad at reading non-fiction, but I got around to it. It wasn't what I expected. I am really bad at like listing genres of non-fiction, but I was expecting kind of like, I don't want to say a how-to guide, but I kind of thought that was how it was going to be written, but it's actually there's a lot of aspects of it that are very memoir-like. Kendi talks about his past and being raised, and just like his parents meeting and him in college and him meeting his wife, and like kind of uses those stories to teach you these things, which I do think it was a very good writing. It's just not what I expected, but yeah, I don't know how to categorize it because of that. It's like half memoir, half something else. But it was good. Would recommend. I'm pretty sure I picked this up from a free library, so I'm probably gonna put it back in a little free library soon. I might wait until it gets warm. I know like the books still have books in them in the winter, but it just scares me to put books in a little free library in the winter. But okay, next. Another book I bought used. Did I buy any of these books new? Technically I bought Reggie and Delilah's Year of Falling new, but I bought it from the Dollar Tree, so it was $1.25. And I think, yeah, I haven't bought anything else new yet. There is one in here though. There's a few in here actually. Okay. Next we have Morbidly Yours by Abby Fairbanks. This was kind of on my radar, but not heavily on my radar. But when I saw it at my bookstore used, I was like, give me. It was so good. It was so fun. So, in this, I don't remember the character's name. What is the character's name? Okay, Lark is a girl from Texas, and she is traveling across seas. Alright, I'm just gonna read it to you because that was painfully shy. Callum Flannelly would rather dive into an open grave than take a stranger to dinner, but he can only inherit the family undertaking business under one condition: he must marry before his 35th birthday. Texan animator Lark Thompson moves to Galway, Ireland to restart her life and career, not to be reminded of losing her husband by moving in next to a funeral home. But when she learns of Callum's dilemma, Lark's certain she can help him find the one, even if she's sworn off love herself. Though, as the dating product progresses and Lark spends more time with straight-laced, sarcastic Callum, he starts to crack the ice around her grieving heart. And the more joy that vivacious Lark brings to Callum's grey existence, the less he can imagine letting her return to Texas. If they think they can ignore their connection, they're dead wrong. So this is a funny book. It's a very sweet book. It is also disability wrap. Callum has a stutter. And it was just like so fun. The characters are both very lovable. There's a pet rat that comes into play. I really enjoyed this, and there is like a sequel in the same universe that follows like I think her sister. So I will probably read that. It doesn't sound as interesting to me, but I'll probably still read it because I did really like the writing style. It definitely does have content warnings though. Like the synopsis mentioned, Lark is grieving her husband who passed, and she has a lot of internalized guilt through that, so it definitely deals a lot heavily with that. And of course, Callum is an undertaker, so it's just a novel very much steeped in death, but it is still very light and funny and really good. I'm getting tired on my feet. Next, I have The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab. I have the Owl Grade edition, I believe. Don't say. I love this art. She's so pretty. And then it has like this. I got this book like the month it came out, which was in 2023, and I still hadn't read it until this year. I love the artwork. We have more in the back. If you know who that is, you know. And then the undercover is so pretty. I have to show you the reverse. Hold on. Do you recognize my babies? If you've read the Darker Shades of Magic series, you will understand. So V. Schwab said that this book can be read on its own, which I just highly disagree with, like highly disagree with. I describe it as a sequel series to the Shades of Magic series. I would not recommend reading this without reading Shades of Magic at all. It's only been a year since I read Shades of Magic, and I was still like really confused. Sorry, I'm trying to put the cover back on. I was still like really confused coming back into the magic world a bit. Sorry, my fridge turned on. Hold on. Okay, I don't remember exactly what I was saying, but I love the Shades of Magic series. I was just really scared to get into this because I read Barrier Bones the Midnight Soil earlier this year, and I wasn't a fan of that. So V. Schwab's books are very hit or miss for me, but I didn't realize how heavily this was going to center the characters of Darker Shades of Magic. I thought it was just going to be about our new character, Tess. But it still very heavily centers like Lila and Kel and Alucard and Rye. Like it's from their perspective as well as Tess. Tess is just like a new character that we get introduced to, and it was still okay. It was good. I did not rate it 5 stars. I think it was good for a lot of the nostalgic aspects to it, because I loved Shades of Magic so much. But as its own, it was like mid. I realized from like someone else's review that Schwab is very good. Not good. She, I think, excels better when she, I don't know, actually. How do I phrase this? With Shades of Magic, it's 3 books, and people like the first book and then they read the second and they're like, the second book didn't need to exist. The second book is just a setup for the third book, and I think that is Schwab's writing style. A lot of this book just felt like setup for the next book, with like pretty little plot happening, even with the size of it. Sorry, my hair's drying and getting like more and more unruly. Yeah, so I liked it for the characters because I like the characters and I already knew the characters, but plot-wise, it's lacking. Next, we have, oh, that book I bought new. This book I also bought new. Sisters of the Wind by Angeline Boulley. This, oh, I tried to take the sticker off. It's really sticky. Is it signed? I don't think this one is. Hold on, let me see. Because I do have her other two novels. No. So I have her other two novels, and her other two novels are signed. This one is not. So she has written Firekeeper's Daughter and Warrior Girl on Earth. Both of those books were 5-star reads for me. Her books center Indigenous teens living in Michigan, and this one very much covers like the missing and murdered Indigenous women and children crisis. Don't know what word. So ever since Lucy Smith's father died 5 years ago, home has been more of an idea than a place. She knows being on the run is better than anything waiting for her as a ward of the state. But when a sharp-eyed and kind Mr. Jameson, a man with an interest in her case, comes looking for her, Lucy wonders if hiding from her past will ever truly keep her safe. 5 years in the foster system have taught her to be cautious and smart. She wants to believe Mr. Jameson and his not friend, a tall, fierce-looking woman, when they say they want to be a part of her life. They also tell Lucy the truth her father hid from her. She is Ojibwe. She has had a sister, and she has more siblings, a grandmother who'd look after her, and a home where she would be loved. But Lucy is being followed. As her secrets threaten to swallow her whole, Lucy must decide what she's willing to give to protect the only love she has left. So, my thoughts on this is immediately when I started it, I thought the writing style felt completely different from Boulley's past books. And it's very much like, it feels contemporary up until like the end, and then it feels very much like a thriller, because the whole time you're reading this book, you know Lucy is keeping a secret from you, the reader, but you aren't 100% sure what that secret is, and then like the moment it's unfolded, it's like boom, 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 boom. Whoa, there is character death in this book. And I still want to read everything that Boulley publishes. I still think it was a good book. It just wasn't as good as her other two novels in my perspective. Like, the plot felt very rushed at the end, and then it did feel a little bit like, did we really need to kill that character? Which the author has said in interviews, she's like, I know readers are gonna be mad. The readers are mad. Not even for the reason she thinks. Anyways, okay. I have to move on. Crownchasers by Coffindaffer. This is a sci-fi, a YA sci-fi. I had this on my shelf for a little while. Also bought new, or used, sorry. I had I saw this recommended on Instagram, and I was scared to read it because I was scared of sci-fi for a pretty long time, and now I'm like really interested in sci-fi. Maybe just not epic sci-fi, like I like the cozy sci-fi, like Becky Chambers and Give Me This. I would not describe this as cozy sci-fi. It's kind of like, the characters, I just don't feel like the reading. Okay, so our character, what is her name? Alyssa. Our main character, Alyssa, is the niece of the current country president, emperor? I don't know how to describe a ruler. And this is not a spoiler, that ruler passes, and Alyssa is sent into a Crownchaser tournament to see who will be the next ruler. Basically, there is an item hidden somewhere in the universe, and the contestants from like rural families essentially get clues as they travel in their spaceships, and they can have like one other team member with them, and then it's like the first person to find it wins. And then this, I was not expecting romance from this at all, but the romance. Also, the love interest's name is so funny. I'm pretty sure it's Hell Monkey. I don't think it's gonna be in the synopsis. I don't think I see it. I'm pretty sure it's Hell Monkey, which is just like, like it's in first person, and Alyssa is like, I know, okay, I know. But it was so good. It was really fun to like see the friendships between the characters grow, and like also see the romance between Alyssa and Hell Monkey grow throughout the book. And I'm really looking forward to the sequel. It is a duology. 5 stars. Next, and last is A Game of Noctis by Deva Fagan. I bought this new as well, but I do think I got it as part of like a buy one get one deal, and it's also only $8.99. The paperback is only $8.99. I need to start reading more middle grade paperbacks. Are you kidding me? That's like a deal. Okay, so hold on. Okay, I had cars driving by again. So this is a fantasy novel, a middle grade fantasy. I'll read the back because I think it's going to be pretty hard to describe. So it says, in the opulent, sinking city of Dantessa, the great games rules all. Pia Pero believes that so long as you follow the rules, you always have a chance at winning. But after her beloved Gramps is sentenced to a life of servitude, Pia accepts a dangerous offer and joins a team of players seeking to win the most perilous game of all, Noctis. The Sea Foxes, Pia's new teammates, are unlike anyone she's ever met. They're brash, bold, Carlo, macabre, Serafina, kind-hearted Pascal, and their dashing ringleader Vittoria. Soon, Pia begins to question all of her long-held beliefs. Maybe the rulers she once trusted to lift her up have only been keeping her down. Her and thousands of others like her down, sorry. As she struggles with these revelations, Pia must survive a gauntlet of clockwork soldiers, treacherous underwater adventures, and even a game against death herself. But with lives at stake, Pia must decide whether she's brave enough to not just break the rules, but to change the very nature of the game. That was a struggle. I don't know why. I kept skipping words. Reading's a lot better than the synopsis, but I just read the synopsis. I did really like this game. It's definitely found family because you just have like these little children who are just hanging out the whole time, not really hanging out. It's cool the way the world is described too. So it is a game where it's a world where games are currency. So basically, like, you challenge someone to a game, or like you hold out your hand and your ranking shows up, and if you have a ranking like under 1, you're sent to this basically like lower class island where they can't hold like land aside from their like homes on that island. It's kind of like an open air prison, but then like some people, like your maids and things like that, can still live on the main island because you need service workers. But aside from that, like, you will challenge someone to play a game, and if you win, your rank can go up, and you also get this like money basically, which, like, you need money to play games. It's a weird concept, but it's really, really cool actually to see. I did really like this. I liked all of the characters. I liked the writing style. I liked the plot. It was just a little bit rushed at the end. Not even rushed at the end. It just like wrapped it up very quickly. Like, there was, I don't know if I called it an epilogue. It might have just been a last chapter, but it felt like an epilogue. But it was only like 1 page, and I was like, whoa. Excuse me, tell me more. Like, so much happened, and we're just gonna wrap it up in a page. But the rest of the book was really good. I do recommend this. It was fun. That's all the books. Let me get a picture with my favorites. Hold on. We can do this one. I'm gonna hold them up to get a thumbnail. Not that I have to keep recording for that, but why not, right? You're already here. It's fun to talk about books again. I actually, like, I was pretty active on, I'm gonna drop these. I was pretty active on Bookstagram for a while, and, like, when I was taking a break from here, I was also taking a break from there. I'll do these ones. So, it's nice to, like, get back into things. So these are my favorites that I picked out. Get a little thumbnail. But thank you for watching. If you watch all the way through 33 minutes of me yapping about books, I appreciate it. I'm gonna go turn my fridge back on now so I don't forget again. And I will see you soon. Bye.